Well, this is just joyous. The perfect backdrop as both sides look to clear the first hurdle. Supporters here in terrific numbers, so will they be going back happy at the end of 90 minutes? Red and black wherever you turn, the San Siro is buzzing. Certainly up for this one. So we're very much on the way now. Jim, who do you reckon is pivotal?
Yeah, I quite like the look of the defender, Pavlovic, because he seems to be a very good blend of steel and skill. We know all about his tackling and his strength, but it's the other aspect of his game that really stands out. He can carry the ball forward and pick those telling passes too.
I wonder whether that has it. It's Eto'o! A potential goal of the season contender, if only.
Eto'o certainly looked like he fancied himself to pull that off. A bit more composure and it would have been a different story, Peter.
Modric. And it's Salamakers. Salamakers stood his ground strongly. He's found a way through. Shot could be on. Takes a shot! Oh, it's hit the post! Great defending, strong and determined. Ricci. It's been a pretty high-octane start, at least from one side's perspective.
Well, they've made all the inroads and their confidence is taking on a growth spurt.
Anguissa. That's good running with the ball. He's shifting through the gears here. And he welcomes it in. And he's managed to get... Shoots! Oh, it's fallen loose again! Goal! Milan! And Milan have the lead. Some heroic goalkeeping, but even that couldn't save them this time.
Oh, that's great movement from him. He instinctively knew that the ball was going to come back out and put himself where he needed to be. The sort of thing you just can't teach.
Milan penetrate first. It is a truly precious lead.
Well, that silenced the crowd, Peter. Item 1 on the to-do list. Done.
Rafael Leao. Estupinian wants to run onto this.
Such good technique.
In towards the back stick. And the goalkeeper's got a good palm to that. That has ended up in no man's land. Could move up a gear here. Now it's Vieri. Bumps him off it and wins back the ball. Milan are inclined to exhibit a more cavalier approach to the game, Jim.
Yeah, possession-based football can be expansive and stylish, provided you have enough ballers in your team and someone who can dictate the tempo. It's not a style that anyone can necessarily play easily, Peter.
Has a look up and delivers, and he was alert to it. Nicely aimed pass, pinches it off him. And the two sides separated by the game's only breakthrough moment to this point. 1-0 the score. Stood up well to him there. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. The defence opting here for strength in numbers. Modric. That's destined for the flank. Rafael Leao going face-to-face with his great rival. And that is expertly dealt with. And this is Modric, shapes to shoot! And the assistant referee rightly gives him offside. Modric, Jimenez, Salamakers, and that's been intercepted.
Pretty robust defending.
Referee has just said play on. Chiellini did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. And it's Silamakers. Tomori gets into a good position. Yeah, he's pulled him up for that challenge. The ref's been lenient here. I doubt he'll get too many more chances. Probably be looking to play it square from here. Well, that pass isn't the best. Pressing high and with purpose. 1-0 here just before the break, and it looks as though it's going to stay that way for now. Modric. Salamakers. Pobega tries to clear. And he's being shifted off it. Ricci. Rafael Leao. Estupinian. Oh, that's a fine interception. Oh, there's a probing ball. That has been slung wide. He's found space here. Now he's off and running.
Ci sarà un minuto di recupero.
Cannavaro. Here's Pobega. So, a temporary halt to the action. A very combative, competitive half with just the one decisive moment. It's been compelling stuff. Milan up by 1 goal at the halfway point.
There's plenty of positives to take despite the lead being so small, Peter. I think playing well, good energy, a little more composure up front perhaps. That's not too much to ask.
Milan just about ahead, 1-0 at the break. And we are back on the way. Milan leading courtesy of the game's only goal. Estupinian. Pobega. And it's Eto'o. Oh, easy pickings there. Turns back here, probably the best option. And here's Pato. Salmakers. Modric. Tomori. And he's gone backward here. Just coming up to the hour mark, and it's still 1-0.
They want to be quick here. It's breakaway time.
And that is well cleared. Referee's had a good look and given a corner. Milan with the corner, they're first. Towering header! No, he didn't quite meet it right. Tomori, Pavlovic, Tomori.
Well, yet another interception and a show of anticipation to be commended.
Now it's Pato. Oh, he's defended very well against those tricky feet. Nice looking ball. That has not gone well. Well, there is a look that says it all. A piercing stare.
Encouraged the pass with an intelligent run, but the pass just lacked pace.
So, Jim, what are you thinking?
Well, it's approaching that time where you have to decide whether you stick or twist, Peter. I'm inclined to think the latter, but the boss probably has quite a few things which he has to factor in yet, so let's see.
Anguissa. Well, that's beautifully weighted. And he's in on goal! Milan can breathe again, just.
That's simply brilliant defending. They were outnumbered, but he still came out on top.
Milan have kept their powder dry on the substitution front so far. Could that be about to change?
Well, the manager must be thinking to himself whether he's got a game changer on that bench, and he needs to act quickly.
Chiellini looking for the run. Cute ball now, how can he reach it? That's going to go a long way. Now try to spin that positively. I certainly can't. Salmakers looking for options for movement. Oh, well played, that has snuffed out the danger.
Well, it's definitely the right attitude and application, Peter. They've got to keep pushing.
There is an irresistible, irrepressible look about them here.
I think they just have to keep forcing the issue and they'll get clinical.
Gets a good foot in there. Salmakers and Tomori, and it's Salmakers. Nicely weighted ball. Oh, well measured. He's got away.
I think the message here is quite clear, Peter. They want another one and will seemingly keep going until they get it.
Still just that single goal and we are nearly done. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. And that's another good win of the ball. Modric. That's an imaginative pass. Pobega. Now that looks a decent ball. Picked out brilliantly. Pato! Superb from Pato! Oh, it really is a finish of the highest order. And there's the goal they've been looking for. A moment that needed composure, and he had plenty of it.
Well, he's a defender's nightmare. You try to send him one way, and he just slips the other.
Milan have surely won it, or so you would think.
Well, that's a really bitter blow. I think it's going to be very hard for them to find the character to respond from that.
And that is that. Milan... Well, what a scene we have here. There's a real expectant buzz in the stadium, and the players on the pitch are raring to go any minute now. And the mood is boisterous. It is a perfect ambience for the central characters, who are ready now to perform. So it's down to business here. Well, for Pepe, this is the time to get that stern focus in his eyes.
Yes, it's that look that says, I'll win at all costs, and you better be prepared for what's coming.
Well, he knows Van Nistelrooy! Oh, that was a half-decent effort.
Well, he's never the sort to doubt his own capabilities, always fancies himself, no matter what the situation.
No, that's been intercepted. Skillfully cut out. He is so at ease on the ball. Pepe. That's Eto'o. Now it's Pato. Caicedo. And it's DiMarco. Has a look and plays it forward. Alexander-Arnold receives it in a good position here. Darren Fletcher. That's a lovely, neat pass. And this is Pato. Pato has been caught there, it's a foul. Well, that looks like a final warning, still no card. What a start, free kick in a dangerous position in the opening minutes.
Well, great position for a cross this, Peter, now to get good contact on it.
And here's Eto'o. Very early stages, Jim, but anything up to now that's of note?
Well, I think both teams probably feel it's too early for either to start taking real risks. So they're still very much in a phase of testing the waters and sizing each other up.
Well, there's the clearance. And he's only too happy to take that back. DiMarco. Goulet. Caicedo. And it's Arda Goulet. Now he's running away. Pepe did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. It's a pretty loose pass. Hoisted upfield by the keeper, and they're quick to get it back. That's a throw. Indonesia still without a single shot on target. Rijkaard. Now it's Messi. Darren Fletcher. Fletcher! It's and again! There it is! And we have liftoff! And he's only too grateful to capitalise on the keeper's misfortune.
That's smart play from him, actually, Peter. That goal was all about positioning. He knew instinctively where to be should the keeper have gotten a little jittery.
Indonesia have fired themselves in front.
Listen, when it comes to goals, Peter, in this team, he's always the #1 contender, and he's done it again.
DiMarco puts them all in. Now he's off and running. Oh, that's been cut out, well played. Well, there's your danger man, a title that is entirely justified. And the two sides separated by the game's only breakthrough moment to this point. And the score is 1-0. Rijkaard. Pepe. Couldn't squeeze it through. He's a sharp little ball here. Here's found and Van Nistelrooy! And that's in! And the lead lost no time at all.
Well, that's so refreshing. They went a goal down, and you never would have guessed it. Their reaction has been emphatic.
And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Lyon are such an adept counter-attacking team. They produced something out of nothing there. A few seconds was all it took for them to convert a defensive situation into a goal, and it's very impressive.
So they have it all to... Rooney! Goal! Lyon! And the comeback is complete! That is so good, such sharp skills, and such a delicious finish.
Oh, what a finish. I mean, an instinctive finish at that, and he probably didn't even have time to think about it too much.
Lyon have their lead.
And things are much healthier in their...
Could be danger here! And now the breakaway. He steps in, and that's the end of that. And it's Eto'o. Rijkaard is the team's great visionary. Little pass back.
Not a lot more he could do there. Well, that was well positioned and well pinched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal.
Eto'o. Oh, that's fabulous. Referee has just said play on. Van Nistelrooy. And that could set him on his way. He is through here. There's the shot! Oh, and that is a thrilling end to the first 45. It's been thrills and spills at either end in the first half. Neither side really seizing the initiative, and both teams still very much in it. The midway point of the game.
Well, I can tell you it's been an absolutely fantastic watch, Peter. I wish...
And a header! And needless to say, that deserved better.
Well, it goes to show you there's a lot you can do if you have willing runners like that. You'll always get that chance. And it's quite direct from them. It's actually quite long from back to front.
Well, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Alexander-Arnold with towering header! That needed to be better, and he knows it.
Yeah, some good movement inside the box. No shortage of targets here.
Tries to play it through. Pass somewhat off target. Saliba makes the interception. Messi, very much a man of this moment. Rijkaard. Mbappe. Now it's Messi. DiMarco, who does have an assist to his name. A mixture of good defending and indecisive passing. No progress. Now it's Mbappe. Now it's Pato. Pinches it off him. Lyon can breathe again. Just.
Oh, that's brilliantly defended, though. It looked destined for a goal.
Played in. And he thumps it clear.
Substitution for Indonesia.
Leo with the corner, there first.
Coming on the field is number 20, McAllister.
Cleared without hesitation.
Lyon clearly are trying to mix things up here, keeping their opponents guessing. Indonesia really are going for it here, Peter. Now it's just a matter of sustaining the effort.
This is a really front-footed approach.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
And it's Alexander-Arnold. That's tidy. Alexander-Arnold ventures forward. Nice and easy for the goalkeeper.
It's the sort of situation that they'll want to capitalise on now.
Alexander-Arnold. Pass is coming off in quick succession here. That is a brilliant interception. Well, that tackle was certainly sturdy. Space for him to turn and look. And it's safely in the keeper's hands. Now it's Eto'o. That's a nicely shaped ball. Pato has it in a wide position. Not the most convincing of passes. Indonesia still have the cards to affect this game. He won't be happy with that one. Güler, Caicedo. And Güler played out towards the right wing. Closing in on the last quarter of an hour. Rijkaard. And here's Mbappe. And this is Pato. Quality ball.
Indonesia really are showing all the necessary urgency, but it's potency they need.
Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, they were looking for a counter-attack. That's positional gold, the utilisation of space.
Rijkaard. And it's Caicedo. And here's Van Nistelrooy! In he goes again. And there's a goal. And surely now, the result's beyond doubt. Some heroic goalkeeping, but even that couldn't save them this time.
And that's great movement from him. He instinctively knew that the ball was going to come back out and put himself where he needed to be. The sort of...
Great chance! Rijkaard. Caicedo. Pato. It's Pato! And a neat finish! A moment that needed composure, and he had plenty of it.
Well, he's a defender's nightmare. You try to send him one way, and he just slips the other.
Indonesia cut their deficit and look raring to go again.
Well, I think they have every chance of levelling this now, Peter, but they've got to stay calm and not go completely gung-ho. Indonesia really can only do one thing now, Peter. Get the ball up front, make sure it sticks, and sustain some pressure.
Oh, good read.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Messi has an approach to the game which is pretty much shoot on sight.
2 added minutes.
Oh, that's delightful. Chance for a shot! Now, who's going to be first to this? Confirmation that there will be 2 minutes stoppage time. Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Indonesia did lead. Indeed, they controlled, but they managed.